Hello YouTube and DFW guitarists. Goemon Ronan coming back at you here again in my Jimmy and Rosalind Carter construction crew construction volunteer t-shirt. I'll go ahead and put this out there, even though I don't technically really like to talk about politics and stuff. I'd probably be considered quite a bit of a centralist. I'm kind of conservative when it comes to, guns and, the government having too much control in things, but I'm a lot more liberal when it comes to, like, drugs and, who people want to put their penis in and stuff like that. Anyway, unless they don't have a penis, then you know what I mean. Anyway, this is just a little update on these rotoSounds strings. Now, one thing I always like kind of gauge strings on is how good they sound unplugged. And these rotoSounds still sound really good. And again, these things feel really hard, like they're really tempered. They're not, they don't have a real soft feeling to them in any way. They're strings. Essentially, to me these days, strings are strings. I'd be very much an Ernie Ball dude, but I think Ernie Balls have gotten kind of expensive for the most part for what they are. So I just kind of go and get what I can afford now. If I have a 6-string and I need a set of strings on it, I usually just go to Guitar Center, or if I feel like I can wait a little while, get online and just sort of get the cheapest thing. That's how I discovered those Musician's Gear strings, which I think are great strings. I had a few of those on this 7-string. I had a real bastard set of strings on this 7-string for a while. One thing I will say is I like having 9s on my 7-string because I do a lot of bar chords, and I don't drop tune my last string. I'm a much more of a standard tuning kind of guy. So if I'm playing a lot of bar chords to stuff, it really is hard on my hand. It's very hard on my left hand. Really wears my thumb out, especially the joint right here. I hit with a sledgehammer and it just hasn't been the same. It cramps up very easily. There's a little tendon that runs across from this finger to kind of your thumb right there, and it gets really tight. Like I can feel it in there if I haven't stretched and worked out my hands before I play. If I just jump into playing, I've got a few songs in me, which is probably why I wouldn't be any good in a band these days. But now that all that rambling's over, do I think the rotoSounds are worth it? Well, from a Guitar Center standpoint, they're $1 more than these Dunlops, right? And I have these Dunlops on a lot of my guitars. They sound fine. I mean, they're strings, right? The only strings I don't think sound great are GHS. I do not like GHS strings. It's like as soon as I put them on my guitar, they make a thuddy sound. They're almost like worn out, like right away. And I just don't like them. I guess they sound okay plugged in, but that lack of response acoustically just makes me think that they aren't sounding as good as they could. So that would be the only real string brand I have anything against. Oh, and those DR strings that are coated in that neon crap, those are such a ripoff. They sound the same, and if you shred a lot, that stuff just shreds, just comes off of there like flesh or something in no time at all. So they're a waste of money unless you're going to have a wall hanger. Put them on a wall hanger and just have them look pretty on there, then that's fine. If you're actually going to play the thing, they're not worth it. So those so far would be the only real strings that I have problems with. But I think these Dunlops sound fine. And their packaging is a little better. These come in individual, envelopes that are sealed that are all sealed in a plastic thing, whereas the rotoSound strings sound and feel good, and they have nice little red, white, and blue, balls on them if you care about stuff like that. But colored balls do not a good string make, per se, and that's red, white, and blue for Britain, not the United States. They are British strings. The rotoSounds are $1 more, and they come with an extra first string, but I'm going to be honest with you, I have completely lost that first string. I have no idea where it is. And part of the reason I have no idea where it is because it didn't come in its own envelope. If it came in its own envelope, the envelope would be sitting around somewhere and I'd know where it is. Now granted, I am kind of a messy dude, but I usually know where most of my stuff is. And I just cannot find that first string. I mean, it might be somewhere, it could be behind my guitar case here, or in between them, or something like that. But the point is, I don't feel like I should have to hunt for the damn first string. Not only that, but I don't know about you guys, I seldom break any strings anymore. And once you kind of become a guitarist and you play lead a lot, you start to realize the value of the G string as a lead string. I think playing lead on the B and the G string sounds a lot better than playing lead on the E string, and that's just me. I mean, I will do it, of course, occasionally, but that's not my go-to string anymore for, random lead playing. So they're good feeling, they sound good enough, they're $1 more, but their packaging isn't as good as the Dunlops. I don't know. I'm thinking the only way I'd get the rotoSounds is if they didn't have the Dunlops in the size I needed, or something like that. I might give them a try on a 6-string, just to try them on a 6-string with like a more normal scale and everything like that, and see if it makes any difference. But I'm just kind of feeling like they're not necessarily a ripoff per se, because they're not all that expensive. Really, they're a pretty good price for strings. It's just, I don't know. It's like they're trying to say they're giving you something for free, but again, $1 more isn't exactly free. That's about the cost of a single string, I would think, these days. They also don't make a 7-string set, so my seventh string on here is the same Diodario that came on this Agile, and I got this Agile like 3 years ago now. So, and it actually still is plowing away and doing its job too. I boil it occasionally. By the way, I boiled my 6-string basses strings recently, and it improved them greatly. And after I checked out the water, after it cooled off, it was like somebody threw a handful of sand in there. It was nasty. They look better, they sound better, they feel better. So, at least for bass strings, the boiling thing really seems to work pretty well. So, I don't know. Get the rotoSounds if you really just don't like how the Dunlops sound or feel. The Dunlops do have a bit of a softer kind of feel, as far as I can tell. I did the same thing with my Dinky 7-string here. I don't know if I've shown you guys that I have a regular Jackson Dinky, and I have this Dinky 7-string, and I have a 6-string Dinky Soloist. But I have the I have the Dunlops on the first 6 of this Jackson Dinky here, and I'd say they definitely have a little softer feel to them. Now granted, this is I think a 26 or 26 and a half or something like that, so it is a little shorter. It could be the scale length making these 9s feel harder than they are, I guess. So just benefit of the doubt there. So I mean, you know, if you don't want to spend or any ball money, but you've tried the Dunlops and you hate them, go ahead and give the rotoSounds a try. Just make sure that you hang on to that first string. What you might do is just put that first string on another one of your guitars right away, because I mean, it never hurts to replace a string, right? But anyway, I'm gonna kind of leave this video there. So bye bye everyone. Going to bed pretty soon. Going on running. Signing out.